Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs and video games. Today I'm playing Monster Train. This time on Monster Train, we will be doing exactly what we've been doing the last few times. We are going to be playing with the next Expert Challenge. Last time we did Round and Round. The next one is No Champion, No Problem. Your champion is gone, but use the extra starter unit banners along with double triggers to win anyway. So we don't get the champion. Additional unit banners appear in Limbo. Alright. And highly reactive. Triggered abilities on friendly units trigger an additional time. Triggered units are things like Incant. Okay. This seems very interesting. Very interesting. We will be playing with the other clan combination that I haven't won with, which is the Umbra Melting. Umbra Melting. We've tried, and I'm going to be playing with the primary, not champion, I guess the primary card, the Shade Splitter, and the exiled card from Melting Remnant, which is Primitive Mold. So that's what we're going to be playing with. We've played with exactly this combination before, on Covenant rank 25, and I died in the Last Divinity fight, so we've gotten very close before. Not having the champion, I'm really not bothered by, honestly. Honestly, really not bothered by that. Let's go. I think this one could be the time that we win Umbra Melting. It could be. Let's hope. Let's hope very hard. We've got Prismal Dust, Molded, and Prism Retrieval. What an interesting set of starting cards. Interesting. So Prism Retrieval and Prismal Dust are both X-Cost cards. And I like both of them. Prism Retrieval is especially good because we're going to have extra unit banners. And we've got Molded as well as Primitive Mold. This means that we could probably remove our primitive molds as we go, which is good. I like that. Unfortunately, we're playing against Seraph the Diligent. The first spell card played each turn gets consumed. I don't like that one. Seraph the Diligent has too many negative effects in that battle for me to ever feel good about it. Let's go. So, Luxury in Limbo. Nice name. I like the Luxury in Limbo name. So we're in Limbo right now. Ooh, okay. I think we get the units before we get the artifacts. I think that's the way. Units before artifacts. Let's get a Remnant unit. So I like Lady of the Reformed. Generally, I like Lady of the Reformed. Revenge is a triggered ability, so it would trigger twice. Slay is also a triggered ability, so it would trigger twice too. I generally like Lady of the Reformed more, though, more than Paraffin Thug. Paraffin Thug is nice for getting gold early. Do I use it because of that? No, I'm going to pick Lady of the Reformed. So Lady of the Reformed basically never burns out, and anything that she's with also doesn't burn out. That's good to know. Umbra unit. So you could get... So Gorge is a triggered ability. Resolve is a triggered ability? Alright. So you summon double morsels all the time? You're incredible. Alright, Morselmaker. Let's go. So we've got Morselmaker. Let's look at our starting deck. We've got Lady of the Reformed and Morselmaker. We need something other than Lady of the Reformed, probably, to put in front of Morselmaker. Even though she doesn't burn out as long as she takes damage. If she doesn't take damage, she doesn't burn out. We might put Train Stewards in front of Morselmaker at the very beginning. I don't know. Alright, let's get our artifacts next. Volatile Gauge. You know, I like Volatile Gauge. It's not very great with the X-Cost cards, but starting with it is quite nice. I really don't like either of the other two very much, so I think we're going Volatile Gauge yet again. We've been playing with Volatile Gauge a lot lately, and, well, we're going to be playing with it again. Ooh, morsel units enter with damage shield. Mark of an Exile doesn't do anything. So, morsel units enter with damage shield. How about that? That might be very good for us. Okay, well... Interesting. Interesting start. We probably want that unit draft, and I don't think that we care about the +4 attack on enemy units. The main problem with what we have is we've got no spells that deal damage. Right, we've got no spells that deal damage. That's the main problem. I'm wondering if we put Lady of the Reformed and Morselmaker at the bottom. Is that good? Probably not at the bottom. Maybe we put them in the middle? I like that one more. Let's put it in the middle. So Morselmaker and... Oh, Lady of the Reformed cost too much. I forgot the volatile gauge effect there. Alright. Well, apparently Morselmaker is going in the middle on its own. Which isn't the worst. And the only other useful thing in the hand is Shade Splitter. So, sure. You know what? Morselmaker is going in the middle. And doing a bunch of damage, by the way. Eventually doing a bunch of damage. Do we put Train Stewards at the top? I think the Apprentice of Light is going to make it to the top. And that annoys me. But there's no way we can avoid you getting to the top, can we? We can at least... Well, we can't even do enough damage to you because the Trusted Priest is going to heal you. I think we'll be fine. Hey, you're going to actually kill a morsel. How about that? The Disciple Foot Soldier is going to kill a morsel. I think what we do is we play 2 Train Stewards at the top this turn. 2 Train Stewards at the top. And then that means that next turn we will deal the one in front there enough damage that the Pyre hits him, kills him in 1 hit. Prism Retrieval for X cost cards. For X. For a Train Steward or a Lady of the Reformed. We do want our Lady of the Reformed. So maybe we do Prism Retrieval and get Lady of the Reformed, hopefully. Or we play a Train Steward. I think we get Lady of the Reformed. You are dying, but you are not dying. Interesting. I don't think we have too much to fear. You're going to be a problem next turn unless we can get a morsel or a Prism Retrieval next turn. I think we'll do... not Prism Retrieval. Prismal Dust is what I meant to say. Let's do Prism Retrieval. Get Lady of the House, or Lady of the Reformed, sorry. I wish she was Lady of the House, almost. And then be done with this turn. Okay. We're getting 7 damage in the first battle. I wasn't expecting to get 7 damage in the first battle. Don't like that. And then we can place a morsel at the top because we've got a Shade Splitter. And the morsel will block both of these attacks. That's pretty decent. Let's do that. So, wait a minute. Why don't we have a morsel in the death pile? I guess when morsels die and they weren't in our deck originally, because morsels are never in your deck, you can't get them back. Okay, that's fine. I did not know that's how it would work, but that's fine. Alright, so you've got damage shield, which means we can kill both of those. And we don't get the Ember Drain either. Now, we're using up a lot of your lifesteal. Is a Shade Splitter, which just blocks the first set of attacks, better than a Train Steward, which essentially does the same thing. It stops the first 2 attacks. Both of them do the exact same thing. Okay. we'll play the Train Steward then. Because we'd rather not draw it again. We did get the Weight of Contrition. Hopefully it doesn't cost 3. It does not. And we win this fight. Took 7 damage. Alright. No champion, no problem. That's what I say. Okay, we did get a unit banner. I probably want the Space Prism or the Morsel Miner. You know, with Volatile Gauge, maybe I don't want either of those. Maybe I don't want either of those. I mean, making of a morsel is pretty nice, though. Especially when the morsels have damage shield. Packed morsels is also pretty good because of that. I might take one of those. I don't know. Space Prism, if it doesn't cost 0, I don't think I want it. The other two I could imagine wanting. Let's take a making of a morsel. Okay, well... the extinguish triggers happen twice, which means Molten Encasement is still very good. The fact that it's going to cost more than 1 is very annoying. Well... kind of sad about these choices. Volatile Gauge is not being very nice to me right now. The Paraffin Enforcer... the Paraffin Enforcer is okay with the Lady of the Reformed. But also the Wickless Tycoon... the Wickless Tycoon is nice. Gets us lots of gold. Or your Gorge triggers twice, so you get tons and tons of damage shield. Okay, let's do that. Tons and tons of damage shield. We probably want to make our units better. Yes, I think we want to make our units better. Of the units, there's probably more Umbra units that are good with Volatile Gauge than Melting units. I think. I can think of a couple for both of them. But I don't mind getting a Melting unit. There are a couple of Melting units that are really excellent. Let's go this way. Merchant of Steel, let's peek in here first. Multi-strike is really, really nice. Frenzy Stone could go very nice. Okay, we'll think about that. Remnant unit. Oh, the Wickless Baron? Alright, I like the Wickless Baron. We're gonna take that one. Harvest effects happen double. That's nice. Now then, what do we do? Let's look at our artifact. Sketches of Salvation. So the problem with Sketches of Salvation is that the Morselmaker needs space to summon morsels. And we don't get that if we have too many units in the deck. Like, the middle floor can only have 7 units. The Morselmaker and the 4 morsels that appear take up 5 spaces. So you kind of want 3 units? Or else you only summon 3 each turn. The Molten Encasement is also a kind of a bad pick with Sketches of Salvation, but Sketches of Salvation is great with the Volatile Gauge. So let me think about this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, the Making of a Morsel is a bad pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9. But if we can trim that down to 4, it would be very good. Let's take Sketches of Salvation. We now know that we want to trim our units down, kind of a lot. Frenzy Stone. we want on something. What do we want Frenzy Stone on? We kind of don't know what's going to get big. But the Wickless Baron is what we want Frenzy Stone on. Heartstone, do we also want that on Wickless Baron? Wickless Baron is going to be one of our best units, probably. Let's make the Wickless Baron really good. I should look at my unit essences. So the Lady of the Reformed we could get rid of. If she's not in front, she just burns out. But when you the summon apply burnout 3, I don't know how that works with Sketches of Salvation. I'm scared. So we might just want to remove Lady of the Reformed. We definitely don't want to get rid of our Morselmaker. So what do we sacrifice to the Wickless Baron? It might be the Crucible Warden to give him a bunch of damage shield early. We don't want it on Molten and... Yeah, okay, so those are going to be hard choices. We're going to make those later. Another unit draft. I'll go for another unit draft. Because there are some units that would be amazing to add to the deck. The Train Stewards. Well, you know what? It's going to happen sometimes. We want to play the Wickless Baron. Almost certainly. Where do we want to play the Wickless Baron? Do we play the Wickless Baron at the top? Not many things will make it to the top. But the few that do, it's going to be good to have the Wickless Baron up there. Let's do that. So first we play Making of a Morsel. We put the Morsel Miner up there. It gets the Ember Drain. Then we play the Wickless Baron to eat it. Okay, great. Wait a minute. Did the Eaten happen twice? Hold on. You got a lot. What does our Wickless Baron normally look like? I think he has 5 health normally, so he got 12 health? The Eaten effect is a triggered ability. Whoa, morsels are so good. Wow. Alright, the fact that you're not dying is a problem. We acknowledge that. We acknowledge that's a problem. I want to have lots of morsels. Okay. Primitive Mold can't get anything back. I think what we do is we play Shade Splitter, a Rubble Morsel, and then we play Crucible Warden in the back, because we want you to get all the benefits. I think we're going to take more damage. I would like a spell that actually defeats units, by the way, and we're not getting that. We can apply Damage Shield to somebody. I guess we're going to apply 1 Damage Shield to you, because I don't think Damage Shield is going to be important. We could apply 0 to just get rid of the Prismal Dust, but I won't. Okay. Almost everything is dying at the top, but unfortunately not everything. We could play Prism Retrieval, but the only options are Train Stewards, I think? No, there's also Lady of the Reformed. Lady of the Reformed doesn't fit at the top. Is there any way for us to kill you? No, because this one takes the entire hit. So that means that... Oh, the Extinguish triggered... Oh, no. It's only friendly units that are highly reactive. That's good to know. So this is going to deal 5 damage to my Pyre. I don't like that. Let's play a Making of a Morsel and a Shade Splitter. Shade Splitter first. We got a Rubble Morsel. Not what I wanted, so we'll play Making of a Morsel. Great. Making of a Morsel, the Morsel Miner goes to the top. You could even go in front. No, because you would die. You only have 1 damage shield. Yeah, go here. We need spells that kill units, by the way. I think that's an important thing that we do not have. Let's play Prism Retrieval to get our... I was hoping for something else, not the Train Steward, but we'll take a Train Steward, and we'll give the Train Steward a Rebel Morsel. I was hoping for Lady of the Reform. Oh, our front Train Steward died. Now in the front is a stealth thing getting really big. That's kind of funny. Now then, all of you are dying, that's good. We want another morsel. We want lots and lots of morsels. What has died? A very large Train Steward has died. Interesting. Is a very large Train Steward better than Lady of the Reformed? I guess so. I mean, you only have 20 health, but you've got 29 attack, whereas you only have 10 attack. Interesting. But you would have burnout. And we can't fit both the Lady of the Reformed and you here. Okay. So the Lady of the Reformed is going here. And we are also getting a Shade Splitter Morsel. To go, I guess, down here. The damage shield is better down here. And then we also get a Shade Splitter Morsel, Magma Morsel to go on our Wickless Baron. Great. So the Wickless Baron is really good. If he can eat and harvest. If only we could determine that he was going to be in the center, in front, or close to the front. I don't know. I think we might be fine. In fact, we're already winning this one. The Morselmaker dies, but the Molten Encasement does not. The Molten Encasement is so big. Alright, I think I might regret taking Sketches of Salvation. But I like a lot of other things that are happening. Do we want Mind Collapse? It could be really nice. It could be really nice. It could also be really bad. We want like something like a True Stone on it to make it worthwhile. I'm gonna take it. We need damage dealing spells. We do not want Entombed Explosive, we do not want Whiplash. Let's skip those. Those are not the ones that we want. I'd be fine if it was not these, but we don't want those. So we didn't get anything from that extra banner unit. I really want to go right because another banner is pretty interesting to me. Let's go right. This is our last chance at a banner, right? We've got a banner next time that we're going to go to as well. And we also have a duplication next time. So if we can find something that we really want to sacrifice to our Wickless Baron, and then we can duplicate the Wickless Baron, that might be the best, and then we want to remove pretty much most of the things in our deck, honestly. Most of the things in our deck should go. What do we do first here? I think we take the unit first. And these are not what we want, so we skip. Okay. I'm getting unlucky with the unit banners, but we're going to lots of them so that I can get potentially lucky. If you go to lots of them, you have a better chance. Ooh, an Arcane Machine. I definitely press this button. I want to These are all for my units. I actually wanted something other than that. We could get a spikes effect and put it on the front unit that's in the middle so that small things die. I think that's better than either of these. So, spikes effect. See, I really wanted damage, but I don't really want damage when we just added a spikes effect, right? That's unfortunate, because I did actually want to make something that damaged enemy units. But if I do that with a spikes effect, we basically could not use it unless we wanted to damage, unless the damage killed the unit. Okay, we're gonna do a buff then. And... ho-ho! We could make something go forward so we can choose what's in front. I like it. I like choosing what's in front. Spikes 5, gain 10 attack, hold of the front. I like it. Now let's take our artifact. Spells get an extra upgrade slot, gain 5 when a tomb unit dies. We've got a tomb unit, but I was thinking about removing it from the deck. So we might not want that. The Lightstone casing is always pretty good, especially getting it early. We've added nothing to any of our spells yet. We don't have any spells that are very worthwhile yet, either. I could skip here. Skip is a valid option, but I'm going to take Lightstone casing. And let's go into Talos the Architect. So, Protective Sin. Enemy units enter with armor 5, Talos attacks every turn and pushes attacked units back, which is very strange for the center floor. The Morselmaker is in the front. Weird. The Wickless Baron could go at the top or the bottom. How bad is it to put the Wickless Baron at the bottom? Because it only works out when he kills things. I think it might be better to put him at the top. With a Shade Splitter. Put the Lady of the Reformed at the bottom, maybe? Okay. My decision is Shade Splitter. We play that. We get a Rebel Morsel. The worst of the morsels. We play the Rebel Morsel first. The damage shield means that we put Wickless Baron behind it. And then we play Lady of the Reformed, I think, at the bottom. Basically get it out of the deck right now. So the morsels are in front in the center, which is a little bit weird. Although the 6 health one goes first, and Talos the Architect is going to kill that one. We could put something else in front. Whatever we put in front would die. Because of Talos the Architect attacking this turn. Unless we put a morsel in front, which we're not going to do. We could put the Molten Encasement in front, so that everything in the center gains a bunch of stealth. And this one would die from the spikes. It would not die. It would not die. I still think that's a good idea, though. The Molten Encasement being in the back is a problem for us, actually. So let's put it in the front and have it die. And then we want another Shade Splitter for you to eat. So you're going to get this one. We could put the Crucible Warden at the top again with our Harvest unit. It's not a bad idea. And then Mind Collapse we could use to kill the Discipled Foot Soldier. Interesting. I like that. So we play something that costs 1 first, which is the Crucible Warden. It'll go at the top, going behind. Then Mind Collapse here, kill this one. And then a Train Steward at the bottom, because why not? Why not have a Train Steward at the bottom? It'll die next turn, probably. We got the making of a morsel for our morsel miner. That's not bad. Let's start with that. Morsel miner goes at the top. It can even go in the front, because only 1 amount of damage is coming this way, so it still gets eaten. We could also play a Shade Splitter at the bottom. I think we want that. I like not having to worry about sweep units with our morsels, by the way. That's very helpful. So, Shade Splitter at the bottom, the Rebel Morsel again. Okay, whatever. You're going to make Lady of the Reformed a little bit better. And that's it this turn. Alright. The Harvest triggers twice for both of those units. I like that. I did not realize that Eaten was a triggered ability, by the way. That makes morsels so much better. You're going to push the Wickless Baron to the back. That's interesting. We could cause that not to happen by doing old magic on Crucible Warden, so you push the Crucible Warden to the back instead. And I kind of like that. You can also get a Morsel Miner. So, this is what we're going to do. Old magic you to the front. You go to the front briefly. Making of a morsel gives us a Morsel Miner. We place the Morsel Miner up here. Doesn't matter where. And now the Wickless Baron will get really big and strong. And then for the rest of what we're doing, Prism Retrieval can't get anything, so we're going to play it, just to get rid of it. We're going to play a Shade Splitter at the bottom. Oops, should not have given the Incant to you. Oh well. I guess we will put the Morsel Jeweler down here. And then Prism Retrieval somewhere where we're not doing the Incant on our enemy unit. There we go. Okay, I feel very good about this battle. I'm trying to think about whether I feel good about this run yet, and I'm not sure yet. We have to remove a lot of cards, especially the Train Stewards. What do we do? I think we just play Shade Splitter. I think all we do is play Shade Splitter this turn. Alright, Shade Splitter, give me something good. A Rubble Morsel. Alright. I don't think it's very good. We could play Molded to get back one of those. The Molten Encasement is kind of interesting at the bottom. The Train Steward is not very interesting at all. Let's try it. Oh, it was Molded, not Primitive Mold. How nice. That means that we can choose to take the Molten Encasement. You've got 11 burnout, so it'll be fine if you also have 4 stealth. Okay, what do we do this turn? We could play Primitive Mold again to get... Well, this time it is a Primitive Mold, so we wouldn't choose what we get. But we have 2 Primitive Molds, so we could get both things. Or we could just get a morsel miner to put at the top. I think we get a morsel miner to put at the top. Morsel miner, you go here. We could also do Mind Collapse for very little, or we could do Prismal Dust to apply 3 damage shield. You know, nobody's going to make it this far, but we're going to do this. There's no way that the boss is getting past my Morselmaker in the center, which already has 125 attack. There's no way you're getting past that. Okay, yeah, we just click end turn. Alright. So far, no problems at all. I think that we want... Oh my gosh, Shroud Spike. Do we just take all of the X-Cost cards? Because it seems like that's what I'm doing. I'm taking all of the X-Cost cards. Sacrificial Resurrection is pretty nice because of how much trash I have in the deck. But honestly, I don't want to have lots of trash in the deck. I just want to remove the trash. So what about Shroud Spike? I think we take it. Especially because it gets doubled by the highly reactive, too. I don't want these. The Bounty Stalker is interesting because of the Extinguish effect, but I don't really want the Bounty Stalker appearing in the center, and I don't get to choose which ones appear in the center. So we just skip these. This one, I certainly want Fell's Remorse. I probably will take Fell's Remorse both times. And here we're going to the left. Let's peek in the Divine Temple. We're going to do good things here. Extreme Stone could go on our one spell that does damage. It's actually the only choice. Purge Stone might actually be good, because the main problem with our deck is how much trash we have in it. And the Engage Pact is very good. Let's take our unit. The Alloyed Construct. Well, we don't want that. If we had a really good source of morsels, that would actually be really good. But we don't have a really good source of morsels. And the unit essence gives it inert, which is kind of bad. Yeah, we have to skip these. Not with Sketches of Salvation. Now, it's very easy to know what we remove. We remove 2 Train Stewards. We don't want those appearing in the center all the time. We can duplicate any card except our champion. But first we could sacrifice something to the thing that we want to duplicate. We might be taking a lot of pack shards here. So the unit essences, basically the Crucible Warden is the best that I can see here. Because we don't want to sacrifice Morselmaker. So I think we sacrifice the Crucible Warden to the Wickless Baron. Crucible Warden, you know, the thing that you were going to do was pretty nice, but oh well. We went a different way, very quickly. Okay. Now we're going to duplicate that Wickless Baron. I don't want to duplicate Morselmaker because we don't have space in the center. We want to duplicate this one. That's a lot of pack shards. A lot of pack shards. We're not taking Purge Stone anymore. We kind of have to take Extreme Stone because the Mind Collapse is almost worthless without it. So we're at 85 pack shards, and we're only on ring 4. Well, here we go. Aggressive Amulet. How bad is it? I don't think it's that bad. Except that we're on extreme threat level. Let's turn it on anyway. Alright, what gets put in the center? Actually, a very good show for the center. Very good show for the center. We got both the Morselmaker and the Wickless Baron, and the Wickless Baron is even already in front. The Lady of the Reformed is going to die, giving enough space for the Morselmaker to make all the sets of morsels every turn. So that's actually pretty nice. We did not get an ability to get a morsel unit on our first turn, which is annoying because we're going to put this Crucible Warden at the top. And if you had already taken a morsel, it would be good, especially because we wouldn't get Ember Drain. And then the Train Steward, we want to just die. So I think we play the Train Steward so that it does. Makes our primitive molds worse, but, you know. Okay. We do get some Shade Splitters this turn. You're getting damaged, but not by a whole lot because you haven't eaten any morsels yet. That will change soon. We need you to get big and strong. And the best thing that we can do for that is get lucky with these Shade Splitters, basically. Alright, try to get lucky with Shade Splitters. Rubble Morsel is not lucky. Rubble Morsel is not lucky. We don't get to play the other Shade Splitter. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, well... we might be taking a lot of damage on the Pyre. We could get Mind Collapse, we could get Shroud Spike and Making of a Morsel, which would make this perfectly fine. But unless we get those things... oh, we're actually going to draw all 8. Never mind. We need to be able to play them too, though, which, you know, they could cost a lot. Okay, so now the center is pretty nice. 39 times 2 attack is pretty nice. You're burning out, which means we get more morsels every turn. Up here, we need to be able to deal lots of damage to you, which we can with Mind Collapse. So everything is fine at the top. We can actually do Making of a Morsel, play the Morsel Miner, Shroud Spike the Morsel Miner 14 times, which I believe is times 2 because of highly reactive. So I believe this is going to be 28 times that you get +6 and +6. Let's see it happen. Excellent. Exactly what I wanted to see. And then we can Mind Collapse, but there's no longer much value in Mind Collapsing you. So let's Mind Collapse something else. Let's Mind Collapse this one. And then Prismal Dust, let's Prismal Dust the top one. Give it lots of damage shield. Alright, I think we've won this one. Alright, Prism Retrieval. We got the Mind Collapse again, which is really nice. We can just continue making this one stronger. I think we're going to do that. So, Shade Splitter, give me a Morsel Excavator. Shade Splitter, give me a Rubble Morsel. Mind Collapse, kill this one in the center. And then we could Primitive Mold, I guess, a couple times to put things at the bottom for some reason. Or we could Prism Retrieval and get the Molten Encasement. We could put a Molten Encasement at the top. Sure, you know what? We're gonna put a Molten Encasement at the top. Oh, we don't have enough Ember. Well, we'll do it when we do. Alright, what to do this turn? I think we play Old Magic on you to just continue making you ridiculous. A couple of Shade Splitters to make you ridiculous. And then click end turn. And I don't think the boss makes it past my second floor, because my Harvester in the second floor, the Wickless Baron there, is already really good. So I think we win on that floor. But just in case we don't, we're going to continue putting morsels at the top to make this floor absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I guess that's all we can do. Alright, great. So I think the center wins. The center wins. Great. Which is what you want to happen when you chose Sketches of Salvation, but you know. Engine upgrade. We could get another Prism Retrieval for whatever reason. The engine upgrade is good. It might not cost 1, which is annoying. But the nice thing is that subtracting 1 capacity on the center floor does exactly nothing. So getting +1 Ember for the rest of the battle is good. Do we take it? Or do we just skip it because what's the point of taking it? I think we take it. Mortal Entrapment I actually definitely want. Crushing Demise is not bad either, because we can play it on any floor except for where our units are, and it's pretty good, but I want Mortal Entrapment. So here we have money, which means we could go to the right and get trinkets. But I also really want the Unstable Vortex. We can buy trinkets later. It's just that trinkets are really good. Let's go to the left. Let's remove more cards. Peek in the Divine Temple. Don't know if we want to do anything here. The Value Stone could go on anything usefully. But I don't think we want the pack shards that we would get from this. It could go on Shroud Spike, which would be probably amazing, but I don't think we want the pack shards. Seek Stone could go on Engine Upgrade. It's only worthwhile if we have the Ember to play it on the first turn, which is, I don't know, maybe not going to happen. But it is the type of card you want Seek Stone on. I don't think we're going to go too deep in those. I think we want to make one of our damage spells better in one of these. So I'm going to hold off. Let's go to the Merchant of Magic. Keepstone. Now that could be very good. Could be very good. What could it go on? Could go on Mind Collapse. Could go on Making of a Morsel, for that matter. Could go on Old Magic. Old Magic is probably the worst one for that. I kind of like it on Making of a Morsel, so that we get to get a Morsel Miner every turn. The problem is, if we get down to a very few amount of units, we can't really put Morsel Miners where our units are. We could have Mind Collapse. Let's put it on Mind Collapse. The Power Stone, I think, goes on Mortal Entrapment because it has Attuned. And the Ember Stone we want to put on a non-X cost card that we want to play. It could go on old magic, because we do want that. We do want to play it. It's one of our few ways to affect where we're going. I should also purge cards here, because purging cards has such a strong effect for us. Let's purge a Train Steward. Should we spend more money right now? I think we do. I don't think we go above 90, though, in purging cards. Let's purge another Train Steward. And then at this point we're purging maybe primitive molds or the units that I don't really want to be in the deck anymore. The Lady of the Reformed could go. The Molten Encasement is weird, but old magic does make it a lot better than it was. How many units do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we remove Lady of the Reformed, we have exactly 4 units. But one of them is Molten Encasement, which is weird. Do I want to do that anyway? Because we do have old magic to put something in the front. I'm thinking about it. Would we rather have Molten Encasement or Lady of the Reformed in the deck? Probably Molten Encasement. Let's remove Lady of the Reformed. And then we remove the primitive molds, because the primitive molds are quite bad. Especially because our units don't really die much. And then we've done what we can do. Alright, let's move on. I hope that it continues to be good. Let's see here. Non-boss enemy units get multi-strike. Terrible with the Silent Marksman. Terrible with the Silent Marksman. We're not going to turn that one on. Ho-ho. The Molten Encasement is in front. That is absolutely perfect. This is exactly the order that I want them in. Actually, I think I would switch the Wickless Baron and the Morselmaker, so that one Wickless Baron is in the back, but otherwise, that's exactly the order that I want. We could even put spikes on the Molten Encasement right now, and I think it's worthwhile to do so. Okay. Now, the morsels that we get are useless until we can primitive mold something, and then we could make them big with morsels, which is kind of ridiculous. So right now, the only useful thing to do is to kill the one that has stealth 2. And we get to do that every turn because of the stuff that we have. I probably should have played 2 morsels, honestly. So the engine upgrade goes in the center, of course, gives us more Ember the entire battle. That's good. The front one is dying, which is perfect for us, because now the Wickless Barons are going to get big, and everything gets stealth. So, do we even Mind Collapse something? I guess we Mind Collapse something for the fact that we get to get it next turn as well. Doing a Mind Collapse in the center floor does basically nothing for us, so let's just make one of these units have less health, like you. You have less health. Great. Okay, we always want to kill this one, but we can kill it next turn, because next turn our units will get benefits from that one dying. The morsel units... Oh, the morsel units are not stealth, of course. So I want to play the Mind Collapse, but I want to play Shroud Spike first. Shroud Spike on the Magma Morsel, of course. So Shroud Spike on Magma Morsel, which makes our front guy ridiculously strong. And then we Mind Collapse the center one, so that our Morsel survives. And then everything else is peachy. I guess we can play a Morsel. What's the point of playing a Morsel? We get Prism Retrieval, which does nothing. Actually, we should get rid of the Prism Retrieval. And we should get rid of it from the deck, too. We've got a lot of trash in the deck, now that we kind of have the way the deck is supposed to work. There's a lot of things that are based on a previous way that the deck could possibly have worked, which is no longer valid. Alright, we killed this one. Unfortunately, one of our morsels does die. We could save it by doing a Prismal Dust, but I won't do that. We could play morsels at the bottom. I see no reason to play these cards. Okay, the one that has stealth dies from Mind Collapse, and then everything else is pointless. So we do the same thing we've done in the last couple turns. Just play one thing. I guess we could play the Morsel Miner at the bottom. We do have the Molten Encasement, which we could get back with a Primitive Mold. Let's do that. Get it back with a Primitive Mold, let it burn out once. Actually, there's no point in doing that. Why am I doing that? It burns out. Alright. I think we just let them go to the next floor, right? I guess we could Mind Collapse one of these. And Old Magic you to give you spikes as well. Actually, we could bring you to the front now. Give you a little bit of the taste. And give you some damage shield even. Alright. The fact that the boss has sweep means that my Morselmaker is going to die, but the morsels will be eaten before they die. Alright. We win very, very quickly. Actually, he didn't even attack twice. He only got to attack once. Alright. Cave in. Descend friendly and enemy units on this floor. That could be a way that we add morsels. Well, we don't really need to add morsels to the center floor, though. We could take cave in so that we can descend units that make it to the top. It's an option. Grovel basically just adds a damage shield. Ember Cache doesn't do much of anything. We're going to take Cave In. I don't know if it's going to be good or just more trash in the deck. I will take another Mortal Entrapment, though. Resin removal. Do we want that? I don't think we do. Let's take another Mortal Entrapment. Okay. We need to remove more cards, which means we go left. Left to remove cards. We're actually already at ring 6. I guess it's not already, but it feels like it's fast. Look at the Divine Temple. Twin Stone. We could Twin Stone Mind Collapse. You could have Twin Stone and Holdover. Ooh, that's interesting. Twin Stone and Holdover means we get to play Mind Collapse twice every turn. And because it has an Extreme Stone, it deals at least 60 damage every turn if we do that. That might be what we do. Let's look at the Merchant of Magic first. Eternal Stone. We could Eternal Stone Shroud Spike. That seems like it could be extremely valuable. Interesting. Okay, we've got some good stuff. Surge Stone is pointless. We've got some really good stuff. Let's go to the Concealed Cavern and see what we get here. Interesting. We got this one again, the Iceberg. So, we don't really care about the Railforger's Hammer. We don't care about the History of the World, which means we do care about the Locket. We take the Locket. Alright. Frozen Nostalgia. Most of our spells have Attuned as well, so most of our spells get a pretty big buff there. Let's remove 2 cards. It's very easy to pick these because they're just primitive molds. Primitive molds are the worst cards that we have, I think. The Shade Splitters are pretty bad now too, though. Are Shade Splitters better or worse than primitive mold? Actually, let's get rid of the primitive molds. I think the primitive molds are really bad. Alright. Merchant of Magic, we're going to take this Eternal Stone and we're going to put it on Shroud Spike. Yeah. Very good. We are definitely taking the Ember Stone as well. The Ember Stone, it could go on Engine Upgrade. It could now go on the thing we just put the Eternal Stone on. Could go on the Shroud Spike. It's really useful on anything that we want to play, except for Mind Collapse. Let's put it on Shroud Spike. Okay. And then we go to the Divine Temple and we take Twin Stone and we put Twin Stone on Mind Collapse. I think that this is a good idea. Especially now that we've got Frozen Nostalgia, because that's 90 damage we can put around twice every turn. And that can take care of some of the riffraff or dangerous units really early on, if we draw it fast enough, which we should with Volatile Gauge. Alright, Archus, Darkness Incarnate. The Looming Dark Shard is annoying. What about Blinding? Blinding happens on Rally, which never happens, basically. Alright. So Blinding is nothing, Looming is always annoying. Luckily, the Blinding Dark Shard comes after the Sketches of Salvation. So we have a Shroud Spike early, which is terrible. We wanted that next turn. We got the Prism Retrieval, which we can just consume. We have Cave-In, which we don't care about. We've got Mortal Entrapment, but we need to have damaged a unit first, which we haven't. So, I think we play Engine Upgrade, and we don't even care where we play it, do we? Alright, let's play it on the top floor. I don't really see much of a reason that we care about which floor we play it on, but we'll play it on the top floor. And then we play Prism Retrieval to get it out of the deck. And then we click the end turn button because there's nothing else for us to do. Okay. Looming Dark Shard at the top means basically nothing. We got our Mind Collapse, which is exactly what we wanted to see. And do we even care much about Mind Collapse? Not a whole lot. Honestly, not a whole lot. What do we want to do? We could do Prism Retrieval to add more damage shield to the front one. I guess we'll do that. We'll do a Mind Collapse so that it takes less of our damage shield. And then we'll do another Mind Collapse to kill one of these. And then we'll do a Prismal Dust to add more damage shield. Sure, you know, whatever. I think we've already won. Just the fact that the front unit got to eat morsels before it got annoyed by enemy units means that we probably already won. We can kill this one with 2 Mind Collapses. The Mortal Entrapment is really good on the boss once we hit the boss, which we don't get to do for a while because of the Spell Shield and the Stealth. We could do We could put the Molten Encasement in front this turn. I think that's the best thing that we can do. Molten Encasement in front so that it dies, so that we have more space for morsels. And then we don't even care about Mind Collapsing in the center right now. Let's do both of our Mind Collapses on the boss. Just get rid of the damage shield. Okay. Alright, Looming Dark Shard in the center means that we probably don't want to do much. Yeah, we don't really want to do much. Maybe we just do nothing this turn, even though this is the turn that we got Shroud Spike. Yeah, let's just do nothing in the center. We can make one of these guys more damaged with Mind Collapse, which I guess is valuable. Or we could do something very weird and get our Molten Encasement back and put a morsel out and then Shroud Spike the morsel to make the Molten Encasement really, really big for whatever reason. It would still have burnout. That seems like the most fun thing to do, so let's do that. So we reform Molten Encasement, we play a Shade Splitter, we get an Ant Umbra morsel. Alright, so the Molten Encasement is going to have a lot of health. And then it's going to burn out. So, Shroud Spike you. Molten Encasement has tons of health. And then we can still Mind Collapse to damage this one. And Mind Collapse to damage this one. Alright, whatever. We did some stuff. It was potentially pointless stuff, but we did some stuff. We can now Mind Collapse the boss so that our Mortal Entrapments can hit the boss. We could Mortal Entrapment you this turn, which seems good. Let's do that first. And then Mind Collapse where? I don't really want to do Cave In. I think we Mind Collapse the boss once, but we Mind Collapse down here first. I'm going to Mind Collapse you, so that next turn we can Mind Collapse you to kill you. And then we Mind Collapse the boss so that the boss is injured for the first time. Great. Alright, no spells at the bottom. We did get a Shroud Spike, which is excellent. We're going to play Shroud Spike. You're going to gain armor, which is annoying. Oh well, you're going to gain armor. But we're going to Shroud Spike the Magma Morsel for as much as possible, 10 times. Alright, front unit, very big, very strong. Oh, that did not kill it. Getting eaten doesn't count as being killed. Right. So now we kill you, and we could Primitive Mold Shade Splitter. I guess I'll do it. So Primitive Mold Shade Splitter. Put the Molten Encasement at the bottom. Our Molten Encasement is getting big and strong, and it has Burnout too. Whatever. Crazy. And then we defeat this one. Alright. Now we could... Well, we can't mold it again. If the Shade Splitter costs less, we could make our stealthy Tomb unit even stronger. Our Molten Encasement could be big and strong. Alright, I think what we do is we Old Magic the other one in front so it gets a taste. And then we Shroud Spike. Shroud Spike a Magma Morsel. Wonderful. And then we Mind Collapse this one. And then let's do a making of a morsel. Making of a morsel? Yeah, making of a morsel. Give you a morsel miner. So the next time we bring you back, it's even better. Alright, and then mine collapse here. Let's do it to the boss, I guess. Deal the boss a little bit more damage. Alright, boss. Where are our mortal entrapments? Don't we have two? Oh, we have one in the hand. Great. Alright, so one of the things that we're doing is we're going to play Mortal Entrapment on the boss. Because this is going to be fun. We play Mortal Entrapment on the boss. That dazed the boss. Then we play Molded to get back our Molten Encasement. And then we play Shade Splitter, Shade Splitter. So that we can make our Molten Encasement even bigger. It still has Burnout 3, so it's going to die. It's going to burn itself out. But we're going to do 156 damage to the boss with a Molten Encasement and 2 morsels. Alright. And then we Mortal Entrapment the boss so he doesn't deal any damage. Bam. Absolutely crushed. Umbra Stone is fine. Kindle is interesting. Do we want Kindle though? I don't know if we do. The Umbra Stone adding Trample is good, but is it necessary? Probably not. I'm going to skip because we don't want more trash in the deck. I think those qualified as trash in the deck. And I do want more Fell's Remorse. Give me more Ember every turn. Okay, not the last ring. There's another Merchant of Trinkets? How many Merchant of Trinkets do we have? 3? Crazy. We could go to the Merchant of Trinkets. We would get a Pyre Remains and a Concealed Caverns. Versus a free artifact, but we only get to choose between 2. An expensive one we get to choose between 3. Don't know what we would do with the Merchant of Steel. Obviously we could upgrade the Morselmaker or the Molten Encasement. Upgrading the Morselmaker is not bad because if the Morselmaker appears in the front, we really don't want it to die on the first turn, which could happen in the Last Divinity fight. So we actually do want to upgrade our Molten Encasement. So let's go to the left, see if we can find a Heartstone for our Morselmaker. I said Molten Encasement, I meant Morselmaker. Because we don't want it to die on the first turn in the Last Divinity fight. That would be terrible. So, let's take an artifact first. +3 magic power or Faulty Loader. Faulty Loader isn't bad, but I don't think we need it. Let's take Tempered Talisman. More magic power. Whatever. More magic power is fine. Ooh, these are not great. Adding the Wickstone to our stealth unit, though. Ooh. The Molten Encasement having a Wickstone? That's pretty nice. Let's do that. Because that means you burn out turn 1, giving stealth to our units at the very beginning. The most important time to give them stealth. But what we really want is a Heartstone. So I'm going to re-roll for a Heartstone. We got a Heartstone. We also got Large Stone, which is a better Heartstone. Because who cares about space? We certainly don't. So the Morselmaker is now big. It can survive lots of hits. Great. Do we also want to Strength Stone our our Molten Encasement? That seems pointless. But I'm tempted. Let's do it. Okay. That was actually exactly what I wanted out of that Merchant of Steel, so I feel pretty good. Let's keep going. You granting multi-strike. I'm glad that we never ran into any of the conduits that skip the second floor, by the way. Although we wouldn't have run into them when we chopped our deck down far enough so that we only use that floor. Don't know how much I care about the armor emblem. I guess the Gilded Wings having armor 20 at the very beginning is pretty bad. But after the very beginning, I don't think we care. Let's turn it on. We've got a couple of ways to deal with the Gilded ones. Also, this is the perfect order. The Molten Encasement in the front, the Wickless Barons surrounding the Morselmaker, making a little Morselmaker sandwich. Perfect. Shroud Spike being in the front in the first hand is pretty bad. Prism Retrieval, we really should remove from the deck. We basically want to play Engine Upgrade. And that's it. Alright, Engine Upgrade in the center. The center has 2 capacity. How terrible. How terrible. Center only having 2 capacity. This Gilded Wing is the real problem, because how in the world are we going to kill it? Getting the Cave-In on the first turn is pretty bad, because the Cave-In is one of our ways to deal with the Gilded Wing getting to the top. The other way is a bunch of Mind Collapses and Mortal Entrapments, which can still happen. So let's hope for those. We should play the Prism Retrieval to get rid of it. We should play a Prismal Dust because it's not going to have too much value, and consuming it in the battle is probably good. So, that was turn 1. Turn 2 we do almost no damage, which is kind of a problem. We got Immortal Entrapment, but we did not get the Mind Collapse yet. Our only good thing here is that the Mind Collapse and the Mortal Entrapment are both coming next turn, in the same turn. Also, your spikes are killing one of my morsels. So we could Old Magic a morsel in front, which doesn't really do much. Which morsel would we put in front? I guess we would put the other Ant Umbra morsel in front. So there's 2 Ant Umbra morsels in front. Let's do that. So put this Ant Umbra morsel in front so that we do get to eat the magma morsels. Oh, and we get to eat the other Ant Umbra morsel now. That's good. Next. We haven't dealt any damage to you, so we can't Mortal Entrapment you. Which means we basically have nothing we can do this turn. We could Primitive Mold, which I guess we'll do. We'll do Primitive Mold to get back our one guy, our Molten Encasement. Primitive Mold to get back the Molten Encasement. Put the Molten Encasement at the bottom. It will die, which is fine. Then we can bring it back and it'll have even more health. Playing a Shade Splitter, actually we could play 2 Shade Splitters and then it won't die. Ooh, interesting. Alright, Shade Splitter, Shade Splitter. We add the morsels in front. And then you don't die. And then we could do another Shade Splitter, I guess. Another Shade Splitter. Play a Morsel Jeweler. We want you to eat the Rebel Morsel more than the Morsel Jeweler. So, let's do this. There we go. So now you don't die. How about that? most of what we just did was pointless, but it was fun. Now, the big problem is we're going to be taking a lot of damage to our Pyre as it currently stands. We can change that. But it's not easy to change that. Because we can't Mortal Entrapment you because you haven't been hurt yet. How did you not get hurt? Wait a minute. You guys didn't get hurt? How did you not get hurt? Don't I have units here that hurt you a lot? I don't know. I don't know how that happened. So Mind Collapse does some damage, but it's not really enough. The Mortal Entrapment costs too much, is the problem. Because my plan was to do a Mind Collapse on you, and then do another Mind Collapse to kill the Winged Conduit, and then Mortal Entrapment the Gilded Wing. But that doesn't work when Mortal Entrapment costs 3, because the Mind Collapse only gives me 2. So we kind of got the worst luck. Which means our Pyre is going to take a lot of damage. A lot of damage. We should probably still do the thing I just said, but it's a lot worse than it was before. I'm thinking we should spend 1 Mind Collapse here, so that you don't also make it to the top. You haven't been eating enough morsels. That's one of the problems. Okay, what are we going to do? I think we Mind Collapse this one, that Wilt Wings, and we Mind Collapse this Winged Conduit. And then we can't really do much other than that, is the thing. we can primitive mold to get back our one thing. Let's do that. So primitive mold gets back... Ooh, a morsel jeweler died. Right. We also have a morsel excavator in there. Our one thing is not dead. Oh, right. Right. So, getting back a morsel jeweler didn't do anything. The morsel jeweler just dies at the top, too. It actually doesn't die at the top, which is weird. Okay, we're going to put a bunch of morsels at the top. Because they do small amounts of damage, and small amounts of damage might be all that we can do. So the morsel miner is just going to die. So we play that one first. The rubble morsel is just going to die. We play that one next. It actually doesn't die. The morsel jeweler actually gets to attack and deal 5 damage. Which is pointless. But that's what we did. We did 5 damage. Mind Collapse next. We kill this one. And then we kill this one. Then we primitive mold. Because primitive mold gets back the morsel excavator, which will also do damage. This is the dumbest plan. But you know what? It does a little bit of damage. Alright, we're going to take a lot of damage on the Pyre. A lot of damage on the Pyre. I wasn't expecting this one to go so poorly at this point. Like, it feels like we should have already been winning at this point. But instead we're taking a lot of damage on the Pyre. Ooh. Dangerous. Have things just not been dying fast enough at the bottom? Maybe that's what's happening. Things aren't dying fast enough in the center. And they still aren't, because you aren't getting to eat as many morsels as you normally do. Interesting. You are also not dying currently, which is a problem. How do we solve that problem? Mortal Entrapment solves that problem. Okay. So Mortal Entrapment kills you. Start there. You have to be killed with a Mind Collapse. We should also use a Mind Collapse to kill this one. Kill this one. We can... We should have done a Shroud Spike first. Oh well. We'll use an old magic to put this Ant Umbra morsel in front. Actually, we don't want to do that until after we do... Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a Shroud Spike on this one. Shroud Spike here, so that you get bigger. And then we do another Mind Collapse, which has to kill you. Then we get to do old magic to put you in the front. Is that doing anything, putting you in the front? The Spikes 5 does a little bit of damage. Doesn't really do much. Maybe we should put you in the front, so that you get to eat some morsels. What's the point of you getting to eat some morsels? I don't know. But you getting Spikes 5 is good. Let's do that. Actually, the plus 10 attack was the most significant there, and pulling you to the front meant that the big hit didn't kill this one. So now we're killing everything in the center. Actually did some good things, even though I was not thinking about the good things that I was doing. But I still managed to do them. So one of the things that we've learned is we're going to have a hard time with the Last Divinity. As is typical, but still. The cave-in was supposed to be really helpful, and it came at all the wrong times. So what we're doing here is we're playing Molded to get back the Molten Encasement. We're going to put the Molten Encasement at the bottom, I think. Right? Put it at the bottom. And then we're going to give it a Morsel Miner. And we're also going to give it an Ant Umbra morsel. And we're also going to give it a Rebel morsel. Then we're going to Mind Collapse in the center. So you die. And you also die. There we go. Great. Okay, you kill the Molten Encasement really fast. Unfortunate. What should we do? We should probably play Prismal Dust first. Let's start there. Prismal Dust on our front unit here. Damage Shield 8 will be important. Then we play Mind Collapse on the back one. That gives us more Ember to spend. Now we can play Mortal Entrapment nowhere. We probably should have played the Mind Collapse here first. Whoops. Oh well. I did actually mess that up. Well, let's give you more spikes. Alright, Mind Collapse this time. If we draw the Mortal Entrapments again, it will help, but I actually intended to Mortal Entrapment the boss that turn. And I could have if I had played my things in the right order. Shouldn't matter, we're already winning. So, just click on turn and win. Will my deck be better if I remove more of the trash? Because we saw how things could get past us this time. 59 damage taken is a lot of damage. And Gem Trove would be amazing with Volatile Gauge if we didn't also have Sketch of Salvation. I don't think we take Engine Upgrade, so we just skip. We already have an Engine Upgrade. I don't think we value another one. Crushing Demise. Crushing Demise is probably what we want. Okay, let's take that. So, last upgrades. Removing more cards is probably more valuable than most things, but the 20 Pyre health is actually pretty valuable too. We have exactly 100 pack shards. The Merchant of Steel is pretty pointless. We actually can't add anything to our units. Okay. But removing 2 cards is very useful. Is it more useful than 20 health and another duplicate? What would we duplicate? We might duplicate Mind Collapse, because the Mind Collapses have been very important for our deck. I don't want to duplicate a unit. Even the crazy Wickless Barons and the Morselmaker. I think. Getting another Morselmaker is pointless if they end up in the center, is the thing. If 2 Morselmakers are in the center, then that doesn't do us anything. And there's a very high chance that would happen. So what would we duplicate? The Mind Collapse is definitely an option. Most other things are not. Do we want a Mind Collapse and Merchant of Magic, and the 20 Pyre health? Or do we want to remove 2 cards? And get more Forgotten Boons so we could buy more Merchant of Trinkets? I think we really want to remove cards. But this was a much harder choice than I was expecting. The Divine Temple has a Value Stone, which is pretty good. I still wouldn't mind a Value Stone on Shroud Spike, for example. Purge Stone is still good, actually. Okay, what else do we do? Peek in here. Friendly units gain Rage 3 whenever they lose a stack of Burnout. Abandon Ant Umbra. I don't think I've ever seen. Precious Plating, we actually probably should buy. Okay. Well, let's take Precious Plating and let's reroll. Trader's Quill. Ooh. Flicker's Liquor is not bad either, because we can play units. We can play morsels pretty regularly, and that means that it just causes other things to cost 0. But I think Trader's Quill is what we want. We have several consume spells, the Prismal Dusts and the Prism Retrieval, which we're going to remove. So the Prismal Dusts and the Engine Upgrade are the consume spells that we have. Maybe Flicker's Liquor is better. It's so weird though, because what is the point of playing morsels except to get the Flicker's Liquor to trigger? We're gonna think about it. Divine Temple, I'm going to take the Value Stone. We're going to put the Value Stone on... where is it? There it is, Shroud Spike. We might take the Purge Stone. Let's remove 2 cards. So we are finally removing Prism Retrieval? Actually, Prism Retrieval consumes, so maybe it's not as bad as Primitive Mold. because the Prism Retrieval consuming gets rid of it. Okay, okay. I guess we're going to do that. 2 primitive molds gone. And then what? Merchant of Steel, we can't put it on anything. I would love to put a large stone on one of my units, but we don't have the option. So nothing to do here, except remove a card. We could actually purge a card if we take Trader's Quill. Or we could take Flicker's Liquor to make things free. In a very strange way. Let's take the Trader's Quill and purge another card. So this time we're going to purge... What are we going to purge this time? A Shade Splitter? Shade Splitters are real bad. Alright. There we go, we've spent our money. Do we also take Purge Stone? It would add 10 more pack shards, which I think I'm going to take. So we want to purge a Shade Splitter. And then we're done. We move into the last few. Seraph the Diligent is going to be very annoying because of the Draining Emblem and the Vengeful Shards. We know this. But I'm more worried about the center getting strong enough to defeat Gilded Wings. So the Prism Retrieval, let's see here. The things that consume normally are Engine Upgrade, Prism Retrieval. The fact that Vengeful Shards cost so much is really annoying. Let's play a Vengeful Shard. And then what do we want to consume? A valid option is Shade Splitter. But we could just consume Engine Upgrade and keep our Shade Splitters to consume in the future. I think I'm going to do that. So Engine Upgrade consumes. Now we play a Mind Collapse to kill this back one. And then we play a Mind Collapse to kill the Purifier there. This is going to be a common thing every turn that we do. Let's play the Vengeful Shard. And then we're going to play Prism Retrieval to get rid of it and to deal 30 more damage. Because we need you to die before you get to the top. Okay, we're going to Mind Collapse those each turn. We want to play the Vengeful Shard. Let's play the Vengeful Shard first. Old Magic, we play. Everything has stealth here right now, basically, so not much benefit. We got rid of the Old Magic. That's fine, actually. What else do we play? We could play Molded to get back our unit. We could play the Shade Splitter to get rid of it. Let's play the Shade Splitter. And then what we do is we play the Mind Collapse. So Mind Collapse to kill you. And then we're going to play another Mind Collapse after playing... We could play Mortal Entrapment. We need to Mind Collapse this Purifier. Yeah, Mortal Entrapment. Didn't really do anything, but it was fine. Why don't you have Burnout? Didn't we get you back? No, we didn't get you back. We didn't play Molded, we played the other thing. Shade Splitter. Alright. Mind Collapse you. So that we don't get the trash. Then we play Molded to bring back the Molten Encasement. We want the Molten Encasement to start eating morsels. Or dying. I guess we want it to die first. We'll still play the morsel. And then we stop. Stop for the turn. Next turn, we should be getting our Eat the Morsel Many Times card. I wish I remembered the names of these cards more. The Shroud Spike is what I was talking about. So Shroud Spike, we're going to play that on one of these morsels. This one. Okay. Now we've won this battle. It wasn't until then that I felt like we had won this battle, though. Now we play Mind Collapse. I do want to play one of them at the top. Or not the top, the center. So we play one in the center. Did we just consume our Mind Collapse? We did not. We consumed Shroud Spike. Which, Shroud Spike normally has consume, so I wasn't thinking about it. But I should really, really remember the Draining Emblem. Oh my gosh. Okay, next thing that we do is we play... What do we play? Prism Retrieval? Or Crushing Demise? I want to play Crushing Demise last. So, Prismal Dust first. Then we play a Mind Collapse on you again. And then we play Crushing Demise. Okay, not the one I wanted, but still. Fine. We can play Mortal Entrapment on you. Okay, whatever you do, don't consume your spell card. The one spell card that has holdover, the Mind Collapse, don't consume that. Play the 2 Vengeful Shards first. We can consume Molded. Consuming Molded is not too bad. Or we could consume a Shade Splitter. Let's consume Shade Splitter. Also kill this one. Great. Now we can play Mind Collapse twice. Once here, and do we play it again there? I kind of want to knock off the spell shield from the boss so that we can start making the boss have dazed. Maybe we should start doing that. Crushing Demise first. Crushing Demise. Kill one of those. And then Mind Collapse. Get rid of one of the spell shield. Let's start focusing on spell shield a little bit. Okay, 2 things to think about. Don't burn your Mind Collapse, get rid of spell shield. So, play the Vengeful Shard. What are we going to consume? We're going to consume another Shade Splitter. Which also kills this. How about that? That's nice. Play the Magma Morsel at the bottom. Now, you have taken damage, so we could play Mortal Entrapment on you. We could play Prismal Dust on our guy if we want. Or we could save it for the future. I think I'll save it. We could mold our unit. Let's do that. Mold the Molten Encasement. So the Molten Encasement, it would die unless we put it in the back. Alright, let's have it die again. And then we Mind Collapse the Purifier, so we don't get any more trash. And then we Mind Collapse the boss, so that we get rid of a spell shield. Alright, perfect. Good set of things. So, what card are we consuming? We're going to consume Shade Splitter again. This also kills the front unit. Next, we're going to play Mind Collapse. I think that there's no reason to play it in the center, So we're going to play it at the bottom. And I don't think we do it next, actually. I think we do Crushing Demise next. And then mold, the one thing that we continue to mold. The Molten Encasement. So Molten Encasement could die again, or we could put a morsel in front of it. I think we put a morsel in front of it this time. Actually, we're killing this back one, aren't we? No, we're not. We're hitting the boss twice. So we're putting Rubble Morsel in front, Morsel Miner behind. So you're going to get bigger this time. And then Mind Collapse the boss twice. So we get rid of the Spell Shield. Spell Shield gone. Now we can start making the boss dazed. Man, look at those Vengeful Shards. They're awful. Alright. So, what are we going to do first? Play the most expensive Vengeful Shard. And then we're going to play Molded, I guess, to burn it. We could play Prismal Dust to burn it. Let's burn the Molded. And let's burn it down here. Whatever. We're going to mold the Morsel Excavator or Magma Morsel. How about Morsel Excavator? Give you not damage shield, lifesteal. You're gonna get some lifesteal. You can actually go in the front and not die. That's hilarious. Alright. Now, we play a Vengeful Shard. Then we play a Mind Collapse killing this Purifier. Then we play a Vengeful Shard. No. Yes, then we play a Vengeful Shard. Then we play a Mind Collapse hitting the boss, so that the boss takes damage. Now future Mortal Entrapments can hit the boss. There we go. Okay, let's play the Vengeful Shards first. Vengeful Shard, Vengeful Shard. Next, I guess we play both Mortal Entrapments this turn, which is pretty weird considering you are the one. But yeah, let's play the Mortal Entrapments. Actually, if we don't kill this one, then you'll still be dazed for next turn. But if we don't kill this one, we don't get to play the second Mortal Entrapment. Right. Okay. So, what we do is we play Mortal Entrapment on the boss. Maybe we don't kill this one. We could Mortal Entrapment the Steel Wings, or Mind Collapse the Steel Wings. There we go. Mortal Entrapment the boss. Mind Collapse the Steel Wings. And then Mortal Entrapment the boss. And then Mind Collapse the boss. Perfect. Alright. So the boss should have, I think, 4 dazed. I think that's how it's going to be. Because it loses 1 and then it loses 1 when it moves up. Oh no, it still has 5 dazed. Alright. Let's play the Vengeful Shards and win. Wonderful. We defeated Seraph. The Last Divinity fight should go okay, as long as we can deal with the first few waves. If we can deal with the first few waves, the Last Divinity fight will go fine. Alright. I want to win. Let's go. Alright, let's see how Sketches of Salvation treats us. Pretty good. Pretty good. There's actually not too many bad options now. But still, that was pretty good. Crushing Demise can kill things at the bottom. Shroud Spike in the opening hand is the worst, yet again. So the Shroud Spike doesn't do anything. The engine upgrade we should play. If we play it here, they'll gain attack, but we'll have stealth, so their attack doesn't matter. We get to deal the damage because of the consume. Old Magic we should play. Old Magic you. Crushing Demise we could play on the bottom floor. And then we're probably done for this turn. Because I don't know what we do with Shade Splitter right now. Okay, Crushing Demise. And that's that turn. Alright, hopefully we do more next turn. If we get our Mind Collapse, which is very likely, because we have a small deck at this point, getting our Mind Collapse would be big. And we got it. Alright. We can also daze the boss over and over and over again, which is also really good. The Prism Retrieval we just want to play last. So, what order do we play these in? I think we play a Mortal Entrapment on the boss. Mortal Entrapment on the boss. Mortal Entrapment on the boss. And then we play Making of a Morsel to get the Morsel Miner. Now that we have the Morsel Miner, what do we do next? Mind Collapse. Mind Collapse can kill the back ones because they have multi-strike. And that's worse because of the damage shield that we have on our morsels. Okay, so Mind Collapse you. That allows us to play Molded. Which we don't play down here because we don't want to do the Incant. Now we've got our Molten Encasement, which we can put at the bottom. The point is for it to die. And it will do that just fine. I don't think we can save it with morsels, but if we can, I don't know if we would. Play the Morsel Miner behind it. The Morsel Miner doesn't just die this turn. Interesting. Okay, next we play a Mind Collapse on this one. And then we play Shade Splitter. We get a Magma Morsel. We'll put that down here too. And then Prism Retrieval. If we play it down here, we deal some damage to the front one. And we give you 10 armor. I think that's fine. So, play it down here. That second set of units is kind of bad, currently. Because of the spell shield, primarily. The spell shield is real bad. Okay, Shroud Spike is amazing. We start with Shroud Spike. So Shroud Spike on a Magma Morsel. Now we can kill units in the center. Now we're killing everything in the center, actually. Which is really nice. Because using my Mind Collapse in the center was not very valuable. So next is killing things down here. Do we kill the Wiltwings? The problem is the Darkwings. Do we kill the Conduit Redirector? I think we kill the Conduit Redirector. That takes 2 Mind Collapses. 2 Mind Collapses kills the Conduit Redirector. We can play the Mortal Entrapment. I think that's the most valuable thing we can do. We could play Crushing Demise. That's probably more valuable. Okay, Crushing Demise in the bottom floor. It hit a big one. Pretty happy with that. Alright, how are we doing on the center floor? The back one is not dying. It takes multiple Mind Collapses to kill the front one. But if we kill the front one, the back one dies. So, or actually, if we Old Magic this one in front, that also kills them all. There we go. I like that. We can Mortal Entrapment the boss, keep it dazed for all time, hopefully. And then we play Molded. Actually, not where the Incant trigger is. Let's Molded the Molten Encasement. And the other one? Yeah, sure. And the Morsel Miner. Okay. So now we play the Molten Encasement down here. It would die if we put it in front. If we put the Morsel Miner in front of it, it doesn't die, I think. The 21 damage hits the damage shield. Or kills the Morsel Miner. And then we get hit by the 13. You still die. Oh, right. The Trample. The Trample messed that up. We could kill this one to stop that. But we want as many things to die in the center as possible. Because that's where we get our harvest triggers. So let's not worry about things not dying at the bottom, I guess. So what do we do with our Mind Collapse? I think we hit the boss twice. Okay, great. We do actually kill the Discipled Inquisitor here. No problem. How about that? Do we want to swap our units again? I don't think we do. Let's just add more spikes and attack to you. We could do Prismal Dust. I actually really like the Prismal Dust on the front one as well. Let's do that. Next, Mind Collapse. We could Mind Collapse you. What would that accomplish? Not a whole lot, but it would mean that this morsel doesn't die. Which is useful, so let's do it. And then what? I think that we play Molded and Making of a Morsel. Mold our Molten Encasement. Bring back a Morsel Miner. And I think we should kill these. Although we can kill them next turn. Let's kill them next turn. So just Mind Collapse the boss again. And we're going to play the Molten Encasement. It's going to die. Yet again. Does the Magma Morsel survive? The Magma Morsel is super stealthy. Right. The Magma Morsel is super stealthy. I kind of like having the super stealthy Magma Morsel at the bottom. We should start with Shroud Spike. Let's start there. Get rid of this mag morsel. And then we Mind Collapse the back two. So Mind Collapse one of the back two. Play Mortal Entrapment on the boss. Mind Collapse the other one. And then Crushing Demise at the bottom. Cool. I did not see what conduit that was, but glad we got rid of it. Our center is basically invincible at this point. So, we have won. I'm very confident that we've won. We're going to go through the motions. Here's another Shroud Spike. We'll start with that. We kind of want to kill things in the center, but they all have Spell Shield, so it's really hard to kill them. Maybe we just hit the boss twice. Yeah, let's hit the boss twice. Okay. Man, all of the spell shield is really annoying in the Last Divinity fight. Like, look at all that spell shield. The boss even has 3 spell shield at the bottom. Anyway, let's add more spikes to this front one. We could swap them again. I don't know if we care to swap them. Let's swap them again. And then we Mind Collapse the back one after doing Mortal Entrapment on the boss. Mortal Entrapment on the boss, Mind Collapse the back one. And then Molded? Sure, let's do Molded. Get our Molten Encasement back. It's got Burnout 5 now. It's very slowly getting stronger. And then we Mind Collapse the boss again. Alright, boss is taking 1338 this turn. And the boss has 9 dazed. So the boss can't kill us. You guys are really annoying. Don't want the weight of contrition. We might do a Crushing Demise at the bottom. See no reason not to. Let's do Old Magic in the center. You all have Spell Shield, so I could do Mind Collapse to kill one of you. Which doesn't seem that great. And you die from Thorns. You also die from Thorns. Okay, never mind. We're going to be happy with what we have. So, let's do a Crushing Demise at the bottom. Let's do Molded to get back our Molten Encasement. Let's play our Molten Encasement. Then we play Mind Collapse twice to not get Weights of Contrition. Because I don't want those. We might win next turn. Well, actually, we definitely win next turn. Next turn is the Relentless phase. Right. Okay. Well, we win this turn. Let's just click End Turn and win. Alright! That felt really good. That felt very good. We've finally gotten a victory, a divine victory with the Umbra Melting clan. That checks off another clan combination, one that has taken me quite a few tries. And we got the Umbra achievement for winning a run with all covenants enabled on the Umbra. Prism Retrieval gets the Divine Stamp. Only that one, but at least we got one. Harvest triggers? Whoa, we beat our personal best in harvest triggers. Alright. Feels good. Let's look at our records. So resolve triggers 114, previous best was 90. Harvest triggers 456, previous best was 405. Obviously we get that because of the double triggers effect, but still, I'm kind of surprised we beat our personal best there, because our personal best is so much. Alright, only one clan combination left. Let's see if I can win that next time. I earned a new divine win with the Umbra melting this time, meaning that there exists only one clan combination for which I haven't clutched a divine win. I also earned one new achievement for my first Covenant 25 win with the Umbra, and I mastered one card, which isn't much, but I'm glad I got one. On the right, I'm featuring Chains the Sighted, who was the most dangerous boss for me in this entire run. Bosses were not the problem this run. I'm also pleased to present another kill against Seraph the Diligent. In my first 50 videos, I only killed Seraph the Diligent 4 times, which means I've registered 5 kills against Seraph the Diligent in my last 18 videos. A surprising and delightful surge. On the left, I'm featuring 2 morsel cards, which become my 10th and 11th cards to reach my 100 battle threshold, where I stop counting. With these, the only morsel card I haven't played with in 100 battles is Morselmaker. Now these particular morsels didn't play much of a role in this victory, so they are only getting the participation trophy. For artifacts, I picked up Wing Technology, giving my morsels damage shield, which was honestly amazing for this run. It reaches my 10 battle threshold, and I am going to consider this artifact more highly in future runs. Frozen Nostalgia was a great pick since I never really cared about capacity on my floors. When you first start Monster Train, each floor has 5 capacity, so you've got 15 seats on the train. The train that came into the station at the end of this run only had 10 seats left, but my minions didn't care. Check out my tracking sheet, link in the video description. New episodes every Saturday, and thanks for watching.